welcome to the Quick One Wakili Show. Our guest today is somebody we went to school with. We'll invite him to introduce himself.
Hi guys, my name is Magunga Williams. I'm a storyteller. I tell stories in different mediums, in writing, photography, video. Yeah. And I went to law school, that's why I'm here.
No, he's a lawyer.
Yeah.
Yes. Sasa, Magunga.
Yeah.
I want you to give us your journey. Your journey from your campus bit. From first year, that bit. First year all the way to fourth year.
Man, that's a long story.
No, you can just...
We have
time also. We have
That's
time.
why
We have time.
You have time.
Yeah,
That's
Saturday
a
we have
long
time.
story, man. We went to, we arrived at Paki.
Ngoja, ulikuwa Alliance?
Hapana.
Ulikuwa shule gani?
Nilikuwa Maranda.
Maranda High School.
Swafi
Maranda
kabisa.
High School. Before it became whatever it is now,
No,
a national school.
Don't take away from
Wanakula
Maranda.
kuku,
It's still a national
It's
school.
still a national school.
Yeah.
In its own right, it still was a national school. But anyway, we arrived in Paki, 2010. I think it was September 12th. I've never forgotten.
Eish!
We arrived in Paki September 12th, 2010.
Yeah.
And immediately, first, Paki is a small campus.
Yeah.
So I remember thinking, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it. Like, really, Indo Campo. But within that small space, we managed to do like a number of things. It stopped even feeling small after the first week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the way it was built was such that when we were in first year, it is too small to handle the whole crowd.
Yeah.
So when we were in first year, we slept in Kabete.
Yeah.
Right? And then now we moved into Paki in second year. Yeah. But when we arrived, there was a campaign going on. Sonu had been disbanded by then. They had just brought it back.
Oh, there was a caretaker committee.
There was a caretaker committee for Sonu.
Okay.
And then they had just brought it back. And at that time, there was this young man we were hearing about. We heard his name before we even saw his face.
Is it Babu Owin?
Yes.
But,
Babu Owin.
You're one of his
But
mates.
no, not really. Me, I mean, the general university politics, I was not involved in it.
Yeah.
I was involved in campus politics from first year, but only for Parklands. You get. So one time, we used to just see posters, and then his posters were,
half.
yeah, they were like portrait photos of him. And the moment ladies saw him, light skin, fell in love with him.
Big car.
So guys were just like,
Eh,
we're voting for this guy.
yeah.
No. And for us, we had all the stories about Babu Owin.
Yeah.
And then the day I saw him for the first time,
Yeah.
I was like, really? That's, I got the same expression about Paki,
Yeah.
You hear all these things, these big universities
Yeah.
produce big people,
Yeah.
and then you arrive and it's like a small thing.
Yeah.
And then the same thing
Yeah.
with Babu,
Yeah.
Big personality, big name,
Yeah.
and then you see him for the first time and you're like,
That's it?
that's it?
Yeah.
This is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you should have seen the people standing behind him.
What taller than you?
Yeah, anyway, so at that time it was campus politics going on. And as I told you, I was not keen on the whole university politics. I was just keen on Parklands.
Yeah.
And at that time, there were two guys who are going head to head with each other. One is called Kipto. Right now he's the Nandi
Speaker. Yes.
Nandi Assembly Speaker.
Yeah.
And then the other guy was Dennis Ademba Roko.
He's a county commissioner.
Now he's a county commissioner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you think about it, when we were chasing campus politics, we didn't imagine that we would be speaking at now. He's now the whatever assembly speaker.
Same way we wouldn't be speaking of you. I mean, you're here for a reason.
Yeah. So at that time, Rocco lost. I was campaigning against him.
Oh, you campaigned against Rocco?
Yes.
Not for him?
In first year,
Eh.
I campaigned against Rocco. I was in Kipto mbaya sana.
Okay.
You see, the thing is, when we arrived,
Yeah.
we had all these stories. I didn't know politics is politics.
Yeah.
So he was not the person we thought he is. But now the thing is, after the election,
Yes.
Rocco literally just pulled me aside. He was like, Magunga, you are one of those people who was like, fighting against me.
Yeah.
The people who were fighting against me in first year. And you know, first year vote is like a huge vote.
Yes.
So Rocco pulls me aside and says, but you know, because you're resourceful, I think we can do things in this. And then after he lost, that's when we became friends.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when we became friends. And I told him about the idea of having a campus magazine, and then it turns out that he also had the same idea of having a campus magazine, because my idea was just right.
Yeah.
You know. Also, you have to understand, at the time, I had been writing and telling stories, but you know, back then we didn't have computers. Having a laptop in Paki was a big deal in 2010.
Only one laptop.
2011.
I had one.
Oh, look on a laptop.
I had an
Okay,
old
but
one.
Deep
An old
state,
one, yeah,
deep
of course.
state, deep state.
Almost all my friends had
How
laptops.
did you have a
Wait, show
laptop
any
in
deep state.
2010,
You had a
2011?
laptop.
In Paki?
2010, 2011.
First year?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Almost all my friends had laptops.
In first
But
year?
they had worked before, so
No, deep state.
Manze.
Fam, let me tell you, the rest of us.
But it was an old one. though.
The rest of, but you had a laptop. The rest of us had to fight for spaces in the computer lab.
Yeah.
If you remember.
Unajua
Computer lab.
Of course.
As I might be talking about
What do you-
things this guy cannot relate. People used to rush from class when I can be a computer lab, and then that's when you do your assignments. People used to hog computers at the computer lab, and they were like what? They were like 30 or 40.
Yeah.
You hog spaces the whole afternoon, you know. So at the time, I used to just write stories and then print them out and then give JMO. JMO, Maitha, and Jefferson. Jefferson left Paki in second year.
Oh, for clarity, it's James Mbugoa and Martin Maitha and Jefferson Sankara, right?
Yes. Jefferson Ngogi. Sankara ni jina kama mimi ya kujieka.
Sawa.
But anyway, yeah, but his official name is Jefferson Ngogi. Yeah, so I used to write stories, print them out at the bureau, and then give these guys to read. So it was just one, and then they would pass around each other.
Yeah.
And then with time, these printouts started finding their way around our class.
Yeah.
No. So by the time I was meeting Dennis, I had already started a blog, because once it started going around, I started my website. So I
What was the name of the blog?
Right now it's called Magunga, the Magunga.
No, at that time.
At the time it was called the Real G Inc. Yeah,
Does
but
it still exist?
no, it's now I changed the name to my name, Magunga.
We still have the stories you used to write.
Yes. So so I meet Dennis. I'm already doing this thing on the side for my class, and then we meet with Dennis, and he tells me campus magazine. So why not? That's how we started the Paklanda Weekly.
Yeah.
So it was me sourcing for stories from everywhere, and then him financing it. So he finances it. I combine the stories, edit, put them together in like basically it was an A4 paper, and then we staple it on the side. Or we bind it on the side, and then we used to print it with a desk jet printer in his room. So at that time he was sharing his room. He was roommates with Jim Karani. Yeah. Now he's at Wildlife Direct. He left. I don't know.
Somewhere there.
But he does his environmental, and you're wearing his band.
Yes.
So those two, they had a printer in their room. It could print colored. And that's what we did. We started Paklanda Weekly, and so we used to print it. It used to bring us profit. Ikifika the end of the week, we take back the money we need to print another edition. The rest tulikuwa tunakula samaki pale poolside. And poolside, if you eat at poolside, that was like
Deep state.
that was the deep state. Poolside cafe was for people with laptops.
Yeah, laptop.
Hiyo ilikuwa Sankara. But essentially that's how the story started. And I kept writing. We had the magazine. It grew. It became Campus. Ilikuwa inaitwa Campus Chronicles. Yes.
Boss, uko na memory?
Uko na memory? It was Campus Chronicles. You know, and you know it because we stopped printing in his desk jet because now we were more and more people wanted it. And you know, we used to sell it for 30 bob.
What was the production cost?
About 15 bob for one. So of course if you print more you get more, you know. So we stopped printing in his room because his print I think got spoiled or something, and then he had his brother in main campus. He had his brother in main campus. So his brother prints like 3 editions, and then he goes like, and you guys are selling in Paki, that small campus. Like, then I can do the same here in main campus. So that's how now, and then we decided, you know what, let's not do at the university has one magazine in Parklands, another one in main campus. Let's just now do one called Campus Chronicles, and then we'll be getting stories from as many campuses as we can. And because of our connection with Lower Kabete, we had people from Lower Kabete writing it, from Paki, and then from main campus. That's how now it became Campus Chronicles. And if you have main campus and you have Paki and you have Lower Kabete,
that's it.
You know, the others will just join in. And let me tell you, so I guess it's at the time I think Ambi alikuwa anauza more, you know, because it was big. And then anajiwekea, so us we used to just go for copies yenye tutauza Parklands. Unaona, we go to his room on Sunday, we get copies that we are going to sell in Parklands, and then we sell the ones in campus. Za campus tunajiwekea, zake sasa za main campus anajiwekea. So that's just basically how it began. And I guess when the moment I took up storytelling seriously, I didn't stop. After, I remember it went on to second year, but I remember, unakumbuka first year, after first year when you leave campus, when you leave first year you go for 3 months holiday. And then you come back for second year, 3 months holiday. So the thing is, when I left first year and went for that 3 months holiday, I actually went to look for internship in a law firm. Unaona, me and James Mbugua walked around this city looking for someone who could just give us anything, even if it's just holding their briefcase going to court. Just anything, because we knew we were just first years, there was nothing we could do, but we didn't get anything. We went to Amnesty International, we went to Rachia, we went to Stuart, we walked around this city.
Commission.
We didn't, I guess after about 3 weeks of tamaking, we just gave up. And then me, I kept on writing. James would later on get the opportunity to work at Sihanya. Sihanya mentoring.
Innovative learning.
I was actually proposed to go for that job, but then at the time he was Sihanya mentoring was trying to be as diverse as possible. So unfortunately, we still live in the country we live in. You can't be seen to be favoring one community. So I told James, there is this opportunity. I don't think I'm getting it, but you, why don't you apply? So, and then I went and told my friends, I can't do it. How about you consider this guy? He's good for it. And James ended up working for Sihanya for how long? 5 years.
For many years, I think 5.
From second year up to 2 years after we left campus. That's for about 5 years. And right now there is nothing I can ever ask James about intellectual property law that he doesn't know. And that helps me in my current
or whatever
I do. And we will get there, right? So I missed the opportunity after first year. I missed the opportunity for Sihanya mentoring, and then now I decided, you know what, I'm just going to do what I'm doing. I'm going to go through school, but on the side, let me just try this storytelling thing. So I used to just tell stories about campus. And then second year, when my class was on long holiday, I campaigned for vice chair KLSS.
No, we were going together. Just hold on that. At this time, when all this is happening, how are your grades in campus? when here you are, you're supposed to go to law school and read mad. Everyone knows that you go to law school, you go and read.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But now you're reading, yes, but you're also writing stories and you're telling stories on the other side. So how are your grades?
So I can remember my worst semester ever was second semester. But yeah, it was second semester, and I averaged a C. That was my worst year because it was 6 units, right?
Is it Kongapi?
I think there were 6. I don't remember.
I think they were about 6 units. Yeah, they should have been about. Was it 6?
What are electives?
Was it 6 or 4?
No,
I
electives came, I think,
were they
in
5
third year,
units?
third and fourth.
Were they
No,
5
there were
units?
6.
There were
Actually
6
six.
units,
Yeah,
right? There were 6 units. I remember, I think I must have gotten about 4 C's, 1 B, and an A. I can't remember which subject gave me what.
Yeah.
But that was my worst year.
Yeah.
So after that, but before or after that, I used to just average B's. And my grades weren't bad.
Yeah.
It's just that I realized that in law school, all I have to do is 2 weeks to the exam, you study mad. The rest of the semester,
Scratch that, folks. See. You go to law school, you hammer, you read.
Is that
those are
what you
big
used to do
lies.
yourself?
Those are big.
Is
These
that
two
what you
guys,
used to do?
if I start telling the story,
My story is from there.
if I start telling stories about
Don't
these two
tell
guys,
mine, don't
I
tell
want to be able to
My
put them
day
so
will
bad.
come. My day will come.
But the thing is, unfortunately, don't take my advice for it. It's different people have different capacities. So if you decide to to not do it, but let me ask you, how important is what you got, the grades you got in campus right now, to what you're doing?
No, they are very important for the first job. My experience. I don't know what's your experience.
Yeah, that's true. So first job, if you want to do a master's, very important. Especially if you're planning to go abroad.
Yeah, I guess after second
The
year,
Har- the
I knew I was
Harvards
not
and
going
the
to do a
Stanfords
master's
and such kind
in
of
law or anything, because I was now knee deep
Into creative sector.
into the creative side of things. Yeah. So everything I used to do, even as vice chair KLSS, I was more.
You tutaingia. Nilikuwa nataka tu
Yeah.
tuguzie tu masomo kidogo and how you.
I wasn't doing bad.
Umeguza modeling. Kama
Modeling.
hiyo kwanza ikiwa kama.
That's a modeling. See, we were with you. Modeling. I mean, what did we? There was nothing about modeling. It's just that in first year,
model Campus Chronicles apart from your first year. Kuna ile first year kila mtu alimodel.
we did
Wako model.
Paki.
Huko model.
Yenye ulikuwa unavaa vinyasa za nini za Masai?
Kama
Vinyasa na shuka.
By the way, this guy came to law school and he had the most eccentric dressing style ever. We used to be like, what is this? What's wrong with this guy? You know, at that time, you see, us were in first year. In our thinking, you're supposed to be wearing. Okay, when you go to law school, you wear bucklers. I don't know what it is like now, but the first year, umeva official, na matai, na masuti, na manini. That's how you want to go to
Very
class.
conservative, yeah.
You know, you dress up for class because you know you in your head there is this profession that requires you to be, you know, this way and this way all the time, until you get to second year and your hostel is 10 meters away from your class. In fact, if you're going to the lecture theater, you leave your hostel and right there is the lecture theater.
Yeah.
So if class is at 8:30, guys used to wake up at 8:15, brush their teeth, wash their face, put on whatever you're going to put on and go to class. Na slippers too. Like it's just a decline. Except if you are like Dedan Washira or whatever it is. But you know, there's just that decline in what you think law is. Yeah, because you go there thinking law is like Denny Crane and suits and all those things. Yeah. It's not what it is. It's still an honorable profession, but it's not what we imagined it was.
To be, yeah.
Yeah.
Or we thought it suits, like you go and watch Suits and
like
you think
Boston Legal,
yeah.
like the practice.
Kumbe ni vioja.
And you know, Vioja Mahakamani is the closest representation of court we have on TV.
I want us to talk about your grades and ulipata nini before you get because you see KLSS also had an impact into the kind of life that where you are now. It's the extra that you're doing away from law school. You see, law school is the main course. The other ones is kuna dessert, kuna hizi vitu zingine.
Hata sikuandika dessert.
No, like when there's the main course, which is meal.
Yes. Dessert.
Dissertation. Yeah. My dissertation is quoted everywhere now. My decriminalization of marijuana in Kenya.
We are sorry.
I mean, I had this vision before you guys.
We did criminal, so it's still criminal.
No, but I started a conversation many years ago about marijuana and what it is now.
Yeah.
To us going to KSL and Laibuta having, we did the bill with Laibuta, the one that was presented to Senate.
Yeah,
that was our work. You know, I'm just saying.
Good stuff.
I'm a visionary.
When do
you see it being decriminalized?
I don't think it's maybe the judiciary is going to help us, but legislature, I don't think so. I don't see it happening.
That's it will it's
Maybe
a campaign point.
President.
Even then,
people who are campaigning right now, is it that the politics and law is such a shitty marriage of things, because now these people have to be popular to who will be popular akisema ati anataka watoto wavute bangi.
But you see, the thing is, that's politics. That's politics. It's always been
and
like
that's
that
what I'm saying.
Kumbuka Mutudho na Nakada.
Yeah, it's Mutudho and Nakada. It's Ezekiel Mutua with his film, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
the more conservative you are with your ideas, the more popular you become.
Yeah.
That's the society we have.
That's
now.
why the DP has to be a Christian all the time.
No, the thing is, for politics, you have to appeal to the masses.
And who are the masses? Do the masses want
do the masses want marijuana to be decriminalized?
That's I don't know.
So until the masses are okay with that idea,
then we can have
maybe your dissertation will find some.
Maybe your dissertation will be used somewhere.
At that time you'll be old with your grey beard and people asking you what were you thinking at the time.
At the time.
Yeah. So anyway, so KLSS is what now, because I loved the arts club.
Yeah.
Right?
There was an arts club in Parkland.
I loved arts club. Arts club was.
Wait,
you
don't remember an arts club in Parkland?
You don't remember arts club in campus?
What used to happen there?
Hapana.
Cut your
Hapana.
What used to happen there?
What do you mean?
You've never heard of arts club in Parklands?
So,
what did you
KLSS had all this organization, Sala, Sola, what?
Yeah. I was a secretary of Solar.
Yeah, you were in Solar, but arts club was also there.
Do you know who formed Solar?
It was Kamodo.
No? It's not Kamodo.
It was you. You want us
no, it's not me.
You want us to say it is you?
It's our former boss.
Who?
Mugambi.
Mugambi?
Yeah, Mugambi formed Solar.
How?
What do you mean how? See,
when he was in school?
Yeah, when he was.
It was that old?
Yeah, Solar is that old.
Who is Mugambi?
Mugambi Nandi. He's.
Mugambi Nandi.
Yes, he's.
I only know him on Twitter.
He's our former boss.
Oh, really?
Yes. He's
a nice
very cool guy.
Very nice guy.
Yeah.
So under all those things, there was an arts club, because at the end of the day, people forget that lawyers also need to have kind of a life, and that's what we used to do.
I used to have a life. I had more life than most people when you were in campus. So deep.
But if you had a life in campus, how do you not know about?
I had a life outside campus.
We'd bring all these creatives to school. You know,
outside
and because I was biased in storytelling, there was even a time I invited Bikozulu to come.
Yeah.
I expected like it would be 10 people. It ended up being about 30 people in the hall.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful thing. So so KLSS, after that, chairperson KLSS, after you guys left, I came after. So there was Gilbert Mitula, and then there was Chimera Raphael. And then after Raphael, it was myself. So, and then so by the time,
remember?
For vice chair, for chair.
For chair, we even had those conversations and we compromised.
Fam, you
was Google the chair at some point?
No,
Daniel.
Ngugi was
Sec Gen.
Sec-Gen.
I see.
You vied against me for chair?
No. I wanted to vie for chair.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Then
And then you figured he had.
no. I figured out.
Uh,
You know how these things happen is that your class is on session, ours is not.
so you thought he has more time than you?
So no, he has more votes.
But when
these people are-
When I was vying for vice chair, my class was out of session.
No, it's the time. I think when was it?
That's how I became. And your class was in session, but I still beat your guy in.
No,
in
you
your
just
class.
applied your mind, and so there's.
No, I just
there's-
I applied
There's no
that.
point of
Yeah,
going
and I was
against
like,
Magunga.
Chief,
At that time,
Yeah.
at that time, I was pretty popular. If you fight against me in
Yeah.
campus,
You'd have lost.
eh,
It was a good call.
kidogo,
It was a good
kidogo,
call.
I won't manage your
Mimi
time.
nilikuwa joker.
But even me, I was a joker. I was not okay. When I say joker, I
Who's
mean
a joker?
I was not doing law school stuff. Unaona? By the time I was leaving, I'd done everything except take law seriously. By the time I was in fourth year, man, like, we'd spend our days shooting pool. You know, you attend class, go shoot pool. When everyone else is going to. There was a time in fourth year. There was a time in fourth year when now guys are like, hey, I need to get like B's and A's so that I get a second upper. You know, I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to. At that time, I was like, okay, see, then you know me, I'm like, see, then the exam is in 2 months. Why are you bothering now? You get? So me, I would be bothered 2 weeks too. And we used to have a study group. The study group was myself, Oscar Mukundi, Maitha, Christopher Kibaki, and Paul Wafula. Yeah, and in this group, I can tell you, you know, these are not your. In that group, the only person who was a Chopi was Paul Wafula.
And
Chopi
Maitha?
meaning.
And Maitha?
No, Chopi meaning.
Oh.
Maitha, Martin Maitha is
and all that.
one of the most brilliant people I've ever met.
He's a genius.
Genius level. Martin Maitha is genius level.
Genius.
I swear to God. But Paul Wafula was the bookworm. When I say Chopi, I mean bookworm. Like, so.
You used to use it.
Listen, during the study group, Paul Wafula would come with a book, throw it at you, and tell you, ask me anything. And then when you open the book and start reading a sentence, he'll finish that sentence for you. I swear to God.
2 weeks after the exam.
Yeah. 2 weeks, I don't know. The day after exam, we used to hit West and Tao.
Yeah.
The day after the exam is over like this, we're in Westlands. But that's how our study group was.
Wow.
And then, so there was a time when, now, like 2 hours before an exam, my God, tulikuwa tunaiva tunatoa moshi. Oh, I forget one person, or rather 2 other people wenye watakasirika. Winnie Adhiambo and Kafuna.
Kafuna.
Kafuna
Winnie
Masini.
Adhiambo is the one in MNC.
No, she's at Bowman's.
Is she as Bowman?
Yeah, she's at Bowman's. Coulson Honey.
Yeah,
Oh, that's Winnie Adhiambo.
Coulson is the name that I don't know about.
It's
Yeah.
called Bowman's.
So there was also, so that group of people, 1 hour to exam, you know, we spend a lot of our days party, Friday tuko huku, tuko arts club, tuko huku, nini. But that group of people, before exam,
Yeah.
tulikuwa tunaiva, tunatoka moshi.
Sasa.
Jemo will tell you, property law were being taught by our then dean, Patricia Kameri-Mbote.
Bana.
Not land law. Land law.
Was it not Nani, the deceased guy?
Kameri-Mbote
Happy
taught us
Aguma.
land law. Havikupa taught us property.
And Constance.
Property law.
Were you done by Constance?
Property law 1. Property law 2. It's either property law 2 or land law. One of those two.
Yeah, it's
One of those
it's
two.
land law, it's land law.
One of those two. We met Jemo. We tell the story all the time, so I don't think he'll mind. I met Jemo because he was at work. I think he was at work and he had not balanced well. So meets me an hour to the paper, right? And he tells me, "Hey, Magunga, hapa niko pabaya." So I tell him, "Come." Nilikuwa nakwambia tulikuwa tunaiva tunatoka moshi. nikampeleka through. Unajua the thing is when you're teaching someone, hata wewe una revise. Yeah. So I taught him that unit. Like I took him through that unit with 45 minutes to go, and he didn't fail. I don't know, I think he got like a B or a C. You know, like it's not that he didn't know anything. He knew, but unajua ile kuiva for an exam. At the end of the day, it's an exam. So nikampeleka through and we passed. And Kameria kanipatia A hiyo subject. So when you talk about
it's
grades,
Professor Kameri. Don't take that away from her.
I can never take that lady. That lady was an amazing being to me as a student and as a student leader. She always had her door open for people like us. Yeah. But anyway, so grades were not bad. But
Ulipata,
I was never
how did you get a first class? Did you get a second class? What did you get?
second upper.
Second upper.
About
Ulipata?
Simuliza maswali ya ujinga. Wewe ulipata?
Second upper.
I think it was about 64 points or something like that.
Tulikuwa tu pamoja.
Yangu 64.
Yangu ilikuwa 61.
61.
But I was
But see, everyone was working towards just getting above 60. See, that was, you know, everyone was like, hey man, let me just try and get above 60. And I remember many guys were disappointed for not, when like 59, unaona? 59 point. Wasa walikuwa tu zile 59 mpaka unasema si waniongeze tu hata kamoja.
So let me ask you.
But now it doesn't matter. This it's like talking about grades in high school. It really just feels like talking about grades in high school. But the point is, by the end of 4th year, I knew I was not doing bad academically, but I had developed a whole different passion that I didn't want to go to KSL. I knew, let me just try and make this work for myself. I'd done one of 2 jobos, and they had paid me well, so I was like, if I can keep this up, and if I can pursue it vizuri, then it can pay me better. Unaona? Yeah. So stepping out of law school.
No, just before you get there.
Yeah.
You had a stint in politics, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're the vice chair.
Yeah.
Then you became a chair.
Yeah.
We would want to also hear the transition between the campus side of politics.
In what way?
Here you are. You're a student, a very good student. You're also doing artsy stuff on the side.
Yeah.
How did you decide to venture into politics? Why? Would you advise anyone who's in Campo? And what are the lessons?
Man,
and
listen.
Also maybe the transition from
I know for a fact that I don't want to be a politician ever again, because campus politics was nasty. When I tell you, kwanza, now let me tell you, it was nasty when I was campaigning. Now when you are now the chairperson and the things that people do, and you see, the thing is, the moment the organization gets a bad rep, you're the chairperson. Of course, it all comes down. Even if you didn't do any of those things, and the story around was like, you did this, you did this. I mean, KLSS did this, so it was Magunga who did this. You know, you have to take the good and the bad. So when we were being praised, there was a time we did something with Woswa, if you remember, on Zilani Muya. Yeah, and so I did a writing competition, won. It was being organized by the Ministry of, at the time it was the Ministry of East Africa Community or something. So I won in my individual capacity, and that's where I got my first laptop, by the way. That's when I got my first laptop. And then there was also like a social media thing that was supposed to go on, and our university also won. You get, and so I won the laptop, but then I also won an award. So during that time, I presented it because it was part of KLSS WOSWA combination. So I presented it to the dean as a win. So the thing is, when you present it, you're praised. So when something goes wrong, you also just
take the flag.
Yeah. Even you take both of it. I would not do politics, but if you feel like you have the mettle for it, go ahead.
Has it shaped you? Your outlook towards things?
Yeah. As I know for a fact, I don't want to be a politician. I don't want to engage in. You see, I don't want to engage in politics from the position of me being a politician in that kind of sense.
Yeah.
But I will engage in politics in other ways.
Yeah.
You know, if we are still talking about laws and policies, I would want to be part of it. I would want to be part of the conversation. But I know politics will change you.
Me, I think now that I want you now to start the transition from now when you start realizing I'm not cut for, I want to go to KSL.
I knew I was not going to, I knew I didn't want to become an advocate.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to just finish school and continue writing. So the thing is, in third year, I inboxed Bikozulu, one of my big influences. Told him about my predicament. Told him I don't feel like this subject anymore.
Yeah.
I knew I couldn't have that conversation with my mother at that time. So Biko tells me, you know what? You are hungry enough to make it in as a writer, but finish school first.
Yeah.
At least finish school, have that degree, and then after that, now you can step out and do what you want.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I decided that was what I would do.
Yeah.
But now you see, when you have very minimal interest like that, I used to just do my duties as KLSS chairperson and go to class. After that, you won't find me in the library. You won't find me in the library. You would find me everywhere else. So up until 2 weeks to go, that's when I can tell you I don't even remember what the library looks like inside. In Parkland. I have no idea. It's just that thing, that place people used to go, nilikuwa naenda chini going to the computer lab.
Ukumbuki library pia kulikuwa na ile kale kabezi ka kwenda underground. Do you remember?
You see, I don't even know that. I've never been there.
Hey.
I used to read my notes. That's all I ever
attend all the classes.
I attend most of the classes. But I didn't have an attendance issue. The thing is, but I know I didn't open a single textbook.
Ever.
I opened a textbook in first year. So first year, listen, first year I had all this. You know, I told you first year I had this fire about being an advocate, which dimmed down completely by the time I was in second year, right? So in first year, we did all those things. But after second year, all I ever handled was our notes and our handouts.
Yeah.
And listen, if I managed to pass all those exams and do as well as I did without opening a textbook, what does that say?
The teachers ask questions.
That the teachers are okay?
Yeah.
Ama they teach us what is in they you know
exam,
what is it? But I also guess the thing about the other argument that could be made is that university see high school. You are being taught what you're being taught there. You're being taught 10%, 90% you study. Yes. That's what the aspect of a university is. Yeah. But then, if you are going to go there, we are going to have a conversation about education. Yeah. No, if indeed I'm supposed to go research and you're supposed to test me about my research and my studying and my own things, then how come I passed exams? You get? But that's a conversation for another day.
All right.
For now, we talk about after campus and we go ahead. Now, I leave campus, I move back to my mother's house like many people did. I tell my mother, don't ask me anything about law school. I've been in law school for 4 years. Let me graduate and then we'll have that conversation from there. But it wasn't meant to be. That we started arguing a lot. Because she wanted me to start applying for a master's. And you have to understand, at that time, I'm 24, 23. I have just finished law school. It is something that I've struggled with for 2 years. And I'm trying to find a position for myself. What do I really want to do? You understand? I see other people deferring KSL for lack of fees. My mother tells me your fees is there. You know, I've been waiting for you to go to KSL. So it kind of feels bad when I see other people who want to go to KSL but can't go to KSL, and yet here I am, I can go to KSL, I can even start a master's program
At the same time.
at the same time.
Yeah.
I saw many people doing it,
Yeah.
but I refuse. You know, I'm like, that's great that I have that opportunity, but for me, I'd rather do something else.
Yeah.
And so it was a cause for quarrel. You know, to quarrel so much. There was a time I got a phone call. I went to see Oscar, see Maisha post campus, where we were not doing very well. Nobody. Okay, well, there are people who start because they had a head start in life, but many of us worked from the ground up.
Yeah.
So Oscar was also working himself from the ground up, and I went to see him in his cabin seat pale Roisa.